Don't worry, the mode is called Leon Must Die Forever, and I made sure it stays true to its name. When I was playing this, Leon died over and over again. He might as well be stuck in limbo because he's never getting out of here alive. Ever. Before we go any further, I'd like to answer the question right off the bat: how hard was Leon Must Die Forever and its challenges? The answer is hard. This is a tough gaming challenge with improper difficulty spikes. If you decide to go for all the mode's achievements and rewards, be prepared to get frustrated and devote a good chunk of time to it. Let's jump into it. Alright, let's give this a quick explanation. Leon Must Die Forever is a free roguelike mode in Resident Evil 9. There are 5 ranks, and obviously the higher the rank, the harder the mode. Because it's a roguelike, the mode is randomized, has permanent death, no checkpoints, and features meta progression. The goal is to start on the city streets and end by killing Victor, with various challenges along the way. And by various, I mean 2. Sometimes you run into a red enemy or a blue enemy, and they can only be killed by explosions or parrying. If you fail to do either, they'll laugh at you as they grab you and start eating you alive. The mode is timed, so higher ranks give you less time to think. The goal is to know the routes comfortably by the time you reach rank 5 to figure out the best way to get to Victor. You can kill tiny spiders to add time. Now, you might be asking yourself, why tiny spiders? Because Capcom hates me, that's why. There's also an enhancer system that unlocks new abilities for Leon, such as increased handgun damage or enhanced melee abilities. The mode has 11 challenges, and you'll get about half of them just by casually playing. For example, opening all 17 doors, defeating certain bosses between ranks 1 and 3, shooting 30 tiny spiders, or refining 50 enhancers. Like I said, these are casual challenges you'll naturally get. The real challenges are the ones that require to do anything rank 4 or 5. As you would expect, the higher the rank, the harder the enemies hit, the more damage you take, and the more the RNG decides a crate that you want to open is going to explode. Ranks 4 and 5, however, are huge difficulty spikes. Luckily, there are only 2 challenges at those levels. They simply require you to complete the rank and that's it. You can approach it however you want, which is disappointing. Take whatever route you want. The challenge is simply to get to it, and trust me, that's a challenge on its own. I just wish there were challenges that added more limitations, but more about that later. Proceed at ranks 4 or 5 at your own discretion, because once you take the final step, you will be there for a while. Completing rank 5 took me longer than clearing ranks 1 through 4 combined. Rank 5 is the ultimate challenge, so brace yourself when you finally get there. I mean, that's really kind of it. There's only 2 other challenges worth mentioning: Leon's Purgatory and Leon's Inferno. Leon's Purgatory requires you to defeat 110 enemies, complete the mode on rank 3 or higher, kill Victor, and last for 40 minutes. See, I like that. That is a real challenge that makes you get creative. The priority isn't simply to complete a rank, it's about surviving for as long as possible while killing as many enemies as possible. It's a challenge that seems impossible when starting out, but gets much easier as your confidence builds. I saved this one for last because I knew exactly how I was going to approach it, with a casual strategy. Even though it wasn't incredibly challenging, it was an interesting thought experiment, and I enjoyed having an excuse to kill as many enemies as possible as fast as possible. Now, I like to save the criticisms for last, so here they are. If this mode just stopped at rank 3, I'd be perfectly happy with it as a free DLC. But because it keeps going, I hate to say this, I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun. Leon is given enhancers to make him more powerful, but they're barely interesting. They added some items and enhancers to try to keep things engaging, but they failed. For example, there's an Inferno axe that makes enemies explode on hit. There's an enhancer where kicking an enemy in the face sets them on fire. And that's it. I just listed all the interesting things in this mode. I wanted something wild for the sake of being wild, but the rest of the enhancers are completely artificial. Increase damage, reduce damage, and that's it. Not only that, there are no interesting weapons. The closest thing to an interesting weapon is after you complete rank 5. If you complete rank 5, your axe does up to 5,000 extra damage and basically has infinite durability. It's honestly just kind of fun going around axing enemies to death. It's actually hilarious. But that's all they gave us. It's underwhelming and the rewards just aren't worth it. They didn't get creative with this mode. It's like they tried for 2 minutes and just stopped. Even the challenges were unimaginative. I know I just praised Leon's Purgatory, but that and Leon's Inferno were the only 2 challenges that I actually liked. The goal of Leon's Inferno is to hit the Super Tyrant for at least 5,000 damage in one hit. I loved that challenge because, without a guide, it made me sit there for a second and think, wait, how am I supposed to do that? It made me figure out what enhancers to use and what weapons to look out for. But after that initial hit and after getting that challenge achievement, the excitement is gone. Not to mention, while the challenge isn't necessarily glitched, it's poorly worded for what it actually wants. I had to try it twice before I figured out to unlock it, and I didn't like that. I hate to say this because Capcom to me is usually that one company that actually cares about taking care of players who pursue their challenges, but you can tell they just slapped this one together. The mode is okay for casual runs, which I think is fair. But as a challenge completer, as a challenge seeker, I'm glad I did it because luckily Resident Evil 9 is a fun game at its core, but this mode clearly needs to be refined on all fronts. That's all I've got. Please like, comment, and subscribe. See you in the next challenge.